Hey, this is Bruce Boudreau, and you're listening to Empty Betters with Nick, Mack, and Harrison.
All right, this is the moment you have all been waiting for. We've been waiting for it all summer. This is usually one of the better episodes of the year, our Metropolitan Division preview. If you are an East Coast bias fan like us, then you are going to want to sit back and crack a beer for this one. All right, we will start by reading the odds to win the Metropolitan Division. These odds come to us from FanDuel as of September 14th, 2023. The Carolina Hurricanes come in at plus 200 as the favorites to win the division, followed by the New Jersey Devils at plus 240, the Rangers at plus 410, the Penguins at plus 550, the Islanders at plus 1100, the Washington Capitals at plus 2200, the Columbus iPhone hacked Blue Jackets at plus 10,000, and the Philadelphia Flyers at plus 13,000. So we obviously have the Canes as the favorites. We will start off our preview with them. Their over-under points total this season is 105.5. They were the second best team in the league last year with 113 points. And for the first time in franchise history, they've had 2 straight 100-point seasons. They also have never had 5 straight seasons in the playoffs. All right, so who did they add? They got Toronto's finest in Michael Bunting, Brendan Lemieux, Dmitry Orlov, Tony DeAngelo. Who did they lose? Calvin DeHaan, Patches, Gostisbehere, Casa, Stastny, Stepan, and Puljujarvi. The PP struggled last year a little bit. The D, we'll talk about that in a second. They are fantastic, arguably maybe the best core in the league. Goaltending is a little bit shaky at times. We've got Anderson, Ranta, and Kochekov also there. I mean, do you guys think this team deserves to be the odds-on favorite to win the division?
Yep. I would say so, without a doubt. I mean, the D is like a cheat code. This is like an all-star team's D. I mean, you've got Slavin, Burns, Brady Shea, Brett Pesce. Dmitry Orlov is on their third pairing, according to Daily Faceoff, which tells you pretty much all you need to know. And then some guy named Tony D, who we don't need to talk about that much. But yeah, this team is nasty. The goalie situation is a little weird to me because I just didn't expect them to keep Anderson and Ranta. I would have thought that it'd just be time for Piotr to slide on in there as the backup. He more than proved himself. Not really sure why they decided to re-sign Ranta. Nothing against him. It just seemed kind of unnecessary to me. But I think they got Ranta for 1 year. So we'll see how that goes. Wouldn't be surprised, though, if either due to injury, actually, honestly, definitely due to injury. Both of these guys, Freddie and Auntie, are both pretty injury prone, so we'll probably see Piotr anyway at some point. But yeah, I mean, this is a nasty team. They lost some guys, like the list you read off. They lost like some decent guys, but I love the Bunting and the Orlov ad. I mean, both of those are just money.
Those are the big ones. This team's going to win this division, and if the NHL was an on paper league, this team would win the Stanley Cup. I don't know how you say Colorado is the odds favorite to win the Stanley Cup when you're looking at these two rosters compared to each other.
I think this team is much better on paper.
Significantly better. And you could say maybe they lose a little bit in goaltending. I think what they lose there, they make up for about 3 or 4 times over with forwards and defense. I mean,
that's the thing. You don't need your goalie to be that good when you have that decor. That's insane.
Exactly. I love the Bunting move. I hate the Orlov move because it's so good for this team. I mean, I hated him going to Boston, but going to Carolina,
no, it's worse. Seeing him in that jersey is going to hurt me so much.
I will say this. It'll hurt me more than seeing Lars Eller in a Penguins uniform.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, that just kind of makes sense to me,
Yeah.
the Eller and the Penguins thing. But yeah, no, the Orlov, that's just breaking my brain trying to picture Orlov in a Kane sweater.
And it's going to go so well.
Yeah, it is. 100%.
One of the big things that I will mention, I saw on Twitter that you two will definitely have a comment on, the traditional red Canes jersey is now going to be their alternate uniform. I think the black will now be their main home.
With the flag or whatever.
And we've now flip-flopped like 10 times in the
I
last
know.
12
You
years.
want to
Just
know what's
figure it
crazy?
out.
Well, you want to know what's crazy is none of their jerseys are good. So it like doesn't matter. They're all stupid.
I don't like the black one. That's it. I don't mind the black one, but I'm a sucker for black.
The original black one from like the 2010s was great.
I think the original red one in the Brindamore as a player era with like all the boxes and checkers and shit, those are fine. But overall, I mean, like they're just like, oh, this one's not that good. Let's switch it to this. No, okay, let's switch it back. If you want to look good, you're just gonna need to get better jerseys. So I mean,
Also like the black one they did that had like, I'm assuming it's still the current one with the then like 20% less dark gray on the shoulder
that
with
one
the
is
red
so
striping around the
stupid.
top.
That one
It's
is so dumb.
dumb.
Also, the white one that says Kane's diagonal is so bad too.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah.
So we go on to the lineup, despite the hideous tarps per the boys over here. They're loaded. I mean, yeah, Nick, you said it. If a team could win the Stanley Cup on paper, this would probably be your team. I think a lot of people might forget this, but they did lose arguably their best offensive player right before the playoffs last season in Andrei Svechnikov. He tore his ACL. So he will be back this season. We'll see how he rebounds. Third line, sick. Martinook was unreal in the playoffs. Stahl is Stahl. He's the captain of the team. What you're gonna get with Jordan Stahl. Jesper Fast. I mean,
that's a fuck you hockey, playoff hockey third line.
Yeah, they're gonna. I mean, Fast is just gonna like skate circles around you. There's a reason he's got that last name, and Stahl at center. That's awesome. The fourth line is like literally the only line that you could maybe critique a little bit, but like even still, they've got Tavo on their third or on their fourth line. He's a boss. So,
and at any moment, him and Jarvis could probably even switch.
Right.
Natchez is nasty. I would put him also in there in the discussion of most underrated player in the league. He's really, really good.
Yep.
I don't have a lot to say. They're loaded.
Fuck. Yeah, there's really just
I hate this. I hate this shit.
Let me ask you this. Who's the MVP of the team?
Ooh, that's a big question.
Who's gonna be the best player this year?
Aho.
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, it's hard not to say Aho just to be different. I mean, Slavin's a beast.
I think Bunting can fit in really well here.
I think he will. I mean, it's Rod Brindamore.
Yeah.
It's the Carolina Hurricanes. You know what you're gonna get.
Yep.
I think for the past 2 seasons, I've been debating picking them for the cup because I picked them 3 years ago and then they choked and now I just can't. But they are going to be right
now.
there.
It feels really, really real.
They're absolutely right there.
I don't really have much more to say. I will say this. I don't think they'll win the division, but they are going to make the playoffs and I think they're going to go deep.
I would agree. I mean,
I agree.
I would also argue that, I mean, the goaltending I said before, they don't have to be that good, but we know Freddie can be a really good goalie, but it's the injury thing for me. Like that's the one thing that could maybe go wrong for this team is that last time around, last season? Yeah. Freddie was hurt for maybe 2 or 3 separate times. I feel like.
Yeah. And I think that's, they do have a good like problem at that situation. They've got 3 goalies essentially. They've got Kochetkov, who has proven that he can, start in the postseason in the past when both Freddie and Ranta had injuries. I just, I think they've got a guy that they can sort of plug and play for a little bit at least there. Harry, what do you think about their D? I just, I look at their D and it makes a ton of sense minus Rigatoni D'Angelo, but I think Pesci is also up there for like most underrated.
Oh yeah.
Maybe defenseman in the NHL. Would you disagree?
No, I don't disagree. I think his name's right. I mean, even like their whole I think every person on their decor you could argue is underrated. I don't think people would ever talk about Slavin and, Carolina market, not like a huge, sexy offensive defenseman name. Shea even, I mean, same thing in New York. He was pretty decent, and he's obviously found his spot on the second pairing in Carolina. The whole D's loaded. I would say they're right there, in my opinion, with Colorado for most loaded decor. So yeah, I think they're loaded.
I think they're a step ahead of Colorado almost, just with that bottom pair that Colorado has. I think these guys maybe have them by like a tick or two.
Yeah, maybe. All right. I think we all have them in the playoffs. I don't have them winning the division. Nick, I can't remember what you said. Mac, I don't think you did either.
I do have them.
Oh, you do?
Same.
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
the playoffs, win
I'm
the
surprised
division.
you don't.
Yeah.
I do not, and
We'll
I'll
get there, I'm sure.
talk about that team.
I have a hunch, but yeah.
Oh God damn it.
Let's move on to the New York Rangers. We've got them at an over-under of 100.5 points. They finished third in the division last year. They got beat by the Devils in 7 in round 1. Their power play is incredible. Their PK is also pretty good. They're good 5-on-5. This is a strange team, fellas. This is a team that everybody and their mother was hyping up going into last season, and everyone was picking them to beat Jersey. Well, I shouldn't say everyone, but majority was having them beat Jersey, go to the Cup. They were like everyone's like sexy young team that thought they were going to make the next step. And then they lose to Jersey in 7. Kind of feels like Jersey's got the same hype around them this year, but we'll get to that later. They add Bonino, Wheeler, Gustafson, Johnny Quick, and then they lose Patrick Kane, Vladimir Tarasenko, Halak, Tyler Mott. What do you guys think the Rangers are going to do this season?
I mean, Jimmy Vesey is back, right, boys?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
His team will go as far as him.
exactly. Let me just say this. I absolutely love if you're a Rangers fan, hate if you're Nick, the top 6 because it looks real damn good. That second line with Panarin on the left, Trocheck in the middle, and Blake Wheeler on the right just gives me all sorts of nightmares. I have no idea how anyone in this division is going to defend that. I don't necessarily dislike the third line, and then I think the fourth line is just all hustle. I love that, especially if and when this team cracks the playoffs, and I think they will. I do have some questions about this team defensively. I think that's been their big issue for the past, 3 or 4 years, Harry? But
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I like their D a lot.
Minus a certain playoff series, but yeah. Defense, that's the issue. But once again, you've got the ultimate bailout behind you in net with Igor. So I think as long as Igor's steady, I don't think it's going to be too much of a concern. But like that back pairing, that third pairing of Gustafson and Braden Schneider is not really inspiring a ton of confidence in me.
Yeah, that's a little sketchy for sure. Gustafson had a good year though last year.
He did.
I mean, he basically bought himself another year in the NHL. I feel like the year prior to that, he was basically like, "Okay, buddy, you're out of here, or you're almost out of here." And then he kind of bought himself some more time. I mean, we talked earlier about how it's going to break my brain seeing Orlov in a Devils uniform. Talk about a weird one that's going to break my brain is seeing Jonathan Quick in a Rangers uniform. That is just weird to me. But yeah, he's their backup this year.
Especially after that cup in 14.
Yeah, right. That's right. That's an element I hadn't thought about yet. This might be the best second line in hockey if that's what it ends up being, by the way. Panarin, Trocheck, Wheeler. That's nasty. I'm trying so hard to find something that's wrong with this team, and I really can't, except like you said, Nick, maybe that third pairing on D.
Yeah, and that's really nitpicking too.
Yeah, I hear you. Our good friend Mark Cordero, he's been telling me all season this guy Braden Schneider is going to be hell to reckon with for opposing teams. Good young D man. Wouldn't be surprised if he somehow gets moved up onto a higher pairing. I mean, the Rangers are really good. I don't really need to go into their lineup a whole bunch because you guys know they've got a lethal power play, Breadman, Zibanejad, blah, 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 Igor, yada, yada, yada. I almost feel like they're being, I can't believe I'm saying this, disrespected. Like everyone was so big on them last year, myself included. They lose one playoff round now. Everyone's like, oh, Carolina jersey. Yeah, done.
It's true, but that's like the dangerous part about this is
Yeah.
now, because remember, that's how the Caps finally fucking won their cup, is like when people finally stopped talking about them constantly, but they were still really good, still made the playoffs as like the second or third in the division type thing. That's what I'm worried about with this team. I actually think that like this could be the year for the Rangers potentially.
I really like Laffy on the third line. I think like when you're drafted 1-1 or you're drafted within like the first 10 of the first round, everyone assumes that you're either going to be playing like top line center or top line wing. It's like if that's where he fits the best, then that's where he fits the best. And if that's how he can help your team the most, which I think it is, then good on him. So I hope he stays there. I hope he flourishes there.
So do the Rangers finish top 3 in the division, and do they finish top 2 in the division even?
I think they finished top. Top 3.
I would agree. I don't think I'm confident enough to say top 2 though.
I think I'm going to say top 2.
Okay.
And I don't blame you. I'm going back and forth in my head about the team that beat them in the first round and what I think about them, and we'll
I am
talk
too.
about them next.
That's a weird one, and we'll get to it here in a sec.
You can't talk about the Rangers or the Devils without talking about the other at this point. They're so intertwined. They're so similar. They're probably going to be battling each other in the playoffs for the next decade. So, let me ask you this. Realistically, are the Rangers a tier 1 cup contender? Yep. Like you put them up there with Colorado, Carolina.
I wasn't like prepared to honestly going into this, but like looking at the lineup right now and talking about it, I don't see how they're not.
Yeah, they're good.
They're really fucking good on paper.
I think Carolina has them by a tick, but I think they are on par with everything Colorado has to throw at them.
Yeah, I would agree.
For plus 410 to win the division, that's probably one of the better value picks you're going to get for a division winner.
Definitely.
Let's talk about the evil stepbrother of the New York Rangers.
Good way to put it.
The New Jersey Devils, over under team total points at 104.5. We all know last year they kind of came out of nowhere. They made some real magic happen. They beat the New York Rangers in the first round in 7. And then they lose to Carolina in the second round. They added Tyler Toffoli, Nosek, Colin Miller, and Tierney. They lose Severson, Wood, Boquist, Graves, Blackwood, Tatar, and Sharon Govich. It is all probably the most hyped team in the league right now. Do they live up to the hype, though?
I kind of want to say no, honestly. I mean, they're good. Don't get me wrong. They're a really good team. Did they get better? I guess so. I mean, they lost a lot of guys. Let's not I mean, that's a long list that you just read off there. And some of them are guys that I think are more valuable than some people realize, like guys like Sharon Govich is like, that's somebody that I think played a pretty vital role for a little while. And obviously you can't keep every little piece. They did a good job of replacing him. Tyler Toffoli, I think, is going to fit in really well. But to me, there's still some holes in this lineup. I don't really like their fourth line much at all, personally. The D, I don't think is, I mean, it's okay. It's pretty good, I guess. I mean, the third pairing is not.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they got a bruiser and Kevin Ball, Brennan Smith. Yeah. Luke Hughes, I mean, he's probably going to be nuts.
Yes, he is. Absolutely.
I think that's a good point, Mac. I mean, like the first line, that's a ton of fun right there. That is so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
Meyer, Heischer, and Dawson Mercer. I mean, all those guys had fantastic seasons last year, at least when Meyer got a couple games under his belt. But I agree, defense isn't there for me. I'll make a race car analogy for you guys. This is like building a race car with a really lightweight, amazing engine, and you haven't touched the brakes yet. You're gonna have to stop at some point.
I love that. I love that a lot.
That's very good. That's very good. Also, goaltending. I mean, Vanacek had a really, really strong regular season last year. Akira Schmid showed some flashes of being pretty solid. They've also got like weird depth in goal. They've got like Nico Dawes. They've got who am I forgetting?
Didn't
They've
they
got,
have like 4 or 5 goalies play for them last year at some
yeah,
point?
and they still have all these guys like in the system too. I'm not really sure what the plan is there. But either way, I mean, like if something goes wrong with Vanacek, I don't think there's a ton to fall back on. I think this is a team that could. I do think they're overhyped. I think they're overhyped. I think they'll score a lot of goals. But they might be a good over team. They might let in a fair amount too.
I think this team could very easily miss the playoffs.
Whoa.
I don't think they will.
I love it. Talk that shit.
I don't think they will, but I think like more so than Carolina or New York, this team could very easily miss the postseason.
I would agree.
Whoa.
Because, okay, put it this way. Realistically, last year, I don't really think they were supposed to be that good. They
weren't.
they kind of like
They weren't.
accelerated things, and everyone was like, "Holy shit, that was fast!" Like now they're good. But they weren't supposed to. So put it this way: pretend last year they had the season that they were supposed to have, and they like missed the playoffs by like
Came in 6th in the
8 or
division.
10 points or something like that. Would everyone this year all of a sudden be like, "Oh my god, they're like they could win the division"? No,
Right.
Everyone be like, "Yeah, they might make the playoffs, like maybe wild card team, maybe third if they have like a really good year."
I mean, if they struggle
But-
through November, December, and just like get 20 points behind like the
Mhm.
front 3 or front 4, look out.
And
'Cause
Nick, we're gonna need that to happen.
we're kind of banking on that.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. Nick, I like your boldness.
You were gonna pick this team to win the division.
I think this team is going to win the division. And
Really?
dude, I will say this.
Oh,
I
no,
think
man.
I think if there's one player that's not named McDavid who's going to win the Hart, I really do think it's going to be Jack Hughes. I think he's probably in my book the second most likely to win it. If you look at FanDuel, they have Matthews, McKinnon, Pastrnak, and Kachuk ahead of him. Fine, I respect it, but a guy who hit 99 points last season, had 43 goals. I think he's going to end up probably breaking 50. He's probably going to end up getting 100 points. Their power play is going to be unstoppable, in my opinion. They add Luke Hughes onto the power play. It's like, Jesus Christ. They're a good team.
The Hugheses are going to be a problem, no doubt. They're going to be a problem without a doubt. But I stand by what I said.
I'll say this. All the regular season success, right? Like they're young, they're sexy. Nick used the race car analogy. I think that was fantastic. I'm not going to say that they are going to make the Stanley Cup Finals. I will go as far to say that I think if they run into the New York Rangers, they might be in trouble because it's that like revenge thing. Like they've got that in their head. Akira Schmid played out of his mind, right? And no one really thought that was going to happen. And Vanacek, like he can be good. I think he's more consistent than Samsonov, but I don't know. I mean, I don't think they're that.
We
much
also
better
saw
than
him in the
Rangers.
playoffs fall apart.
Yeah, I don't think they're that much better than the Rangers, but I do think regular season they'll be unbeatable.
I don't think they're better than the Rangers.
Yeah,
they're dead even.
School of thought.
I think they're dead even. Honestly,
I love a playoff series either way.
I think Rangers have the edge on D and goaltending, but I think the Devils can score with anybody.
I think whichever one finishes higher in the regular season loses in the playoffs, if that makes sense.
I mean, that's what happened. Well, no, yeah, okay.
Let's get some clip material here because this is what we're really all here for, right? Who's going to end up going further in the playoffs this season? The New York Rangers or the New Jersey Devils? And let's have all the Johnny Guidos argue in the comment section over this.
So I think the Rangers will finish higher in the regular season, but I think the Devils will go farther in the playoffs, or they'll, lose in the same round, if that makes sense.
I think the Rangers will go further in the playoffs and finish higher in the regular season.
I think the Devils will finish higher in the regular season, but I think the Rangers will go further in the playoffs. So we got a good mix there.
Way to check the boxes, boys.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I think we got a good mix there. All right. Well, we'll see what happens with Jersey. Nick, you got some bold takes there. I like it. Let's move on to my beloved Pittsburgh Penguins. Last year, missed the playoffs for the first time since 2005, 2006.
Where's my Z-Quill?
because they couldn't beat the Blackhawks, who
Keep me up. I'm ready. I'm ready.
before we go into this, so this is really full circle. The second to last game of the season, the Penguins played. So if you want to call it this, 2 games ago, basically, they lose to the Blackhawks, who they will now play on the season opener, who they gave Connor Bedard to. Like, that's full circle, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of crazy.
That's
The
weird.
NHL gave Connor Bedard to the Blackhawks, but you
yeah.
guys, I mean, the NHL and the Penguins, as we all know, do work hand in hand
It's the
with
same
each
thing.
other. So
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, whatever you want to say that helps you feel better. They bring in Kyle Dubas, right? So they get rid of Ron Hextall, thank God. Management, Kyle Dubas, is doubling down on the core. They're not going quiet. They want to try and make another run at the Stanley Cup immediately, and this is probably their best chance to do it. I mean, until Sid's done. They add reigning Norris Trophy winner Erik Karlsson, defending Stanley Cup champion Riley Smith, Matt Nieto, Lars Eller, Nola Chari, Vinny Hinostroza, Nedeljkovic, Ryan Graves, and Ryan Pitlick. And then they lose Jan Ruda, elite NHL defenseman Jeff Petrie, Casey DeSmith, Jason Zucker, elite NHL defenseman Brian Dumoulin, Ryan Paling, Danton Heinen, Josh Archibald, Nick Bonino, Dmitry Kulikov, and the MVP of the team last year, Mikael Granlund. I don't know what this team is. I don't know what they are. I can't figure it out. I want to say they're good. I think they'll be decent, but I can't say with full confidence that they're going to make the playoffs yet. I'm going to take the next 5 minutes to do that while you guys talk.
Interesting. Okay.
I
so
thought
they
it was
went,
supposed to be you telling us about your beloved
Yeah, I kind of
Penguins.
thought too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Well, I
don't
said
even
in
know.
5 minutes. So I'm letting you
okay.
guys kind of do your thing here.
Okay, well, listen, they went quantity over quality with the ads, in my opinion. They tried to like add as many freaking guys in 10 seconds as they could. Matt Nieto, I don't know really what that's gonna do. The fact that these guys still think that Chad Ruhwedel should like be a guy in the NHL is hilarious to me. That is like the most funny thing. And I mean, this is what I said, tee me up, I'm ready to eat. This might be the worst goalie tandem in the league. Besides like the freaking like Blackhawks or something like that.
Come on. That's
Jari and Nedeljkovic, bro.
How is listen, is Jari's not that he's
He
not
was
a top
so
10.
bad last year, dude.
He's not a top 10 goalie, I'll give you that, but he's not the worst goalie in the league.
I'm saying this tandem in general is so bad. Like, if anything happens to Jari, which we've seen it happen before, either he starts sucking or he gets hurt. Yeah. Then they're falling back on a guy who was 5-7-2 last year with a 353 goals against average. I don't see it. I just don't see like the vision here.
I think my questions come more from the fact that so we know Jake Gensel's hurt. And optimistically, Jake Gensel is back when, Harry? Early December, late November?
No. There was news, actually. I saw that now suddenly, magically, miraculously, he could be back. Like, the last thing I saw said he might only miss, like, a week or two.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's the last thing. I don't know if, Harry, you saw that. But
so I'm assuming
November.
He slots back in on the second line, and Alex
Hold
Nylander is bumped out, right?
So hang on, let me look at yeah, I mean Nylander would probably get bumped down, to like third line, so that way Jeff Carter can hopefully get shot to Mars.
Yeah, I think Alex Nylander on your second line is a little bit of a stretch. I don't know how O'Connor's been for you. I will say I do hate, as for me, love for you, your center depth on 3 and 4 with Eller and Achari. I think both of those guys are just like, grit, spit, duct tape, fuck you, playoff hockey players.
The Athletic, by the way, literally says that Gensel's expected to miss, quote, around 5 games.
Okay. Jesus.
I would say early to mid-November is what I'll predict. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
But sure.
Also, like Max said, I have drastic concerns about your goaltending and your third defense pair.
That's bad.
That's fair. POJ, I've got hope for him. I really do.
Because this has been up and down for like 2-3 seasons now, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and Sully's hard on the young guys, but he's the guy we got back in the Phil Kessel trade to Arizona. He was a first-round pick. He was supposed to be a really good piece. I think he can get there. Mac Ruhwedel, he's like the most like sixth to seventh depth man you can have, but he's not
Yeah.
horrible. I mean, he is what he is.
He's
That's-
better than Jack Johnson. I'll give him that.
I
better than
guess.
Jack. But can we talk about the top four? Like, let's not focus on like the guys who are going to play like 16 minutes a night. Let's talk about the top four for a second. What do you guys think of the
All
top
right,
four?
go ahead. We can.
No,
have
I'm
the
asking. I'm
jerk-off
asking a
session
question.
now.
You
I
guys
think
know what I
Good.
think.
It's really good. Yeah.
Graves is going to have a tall order this year, especially getting like top. If he stays with Letang on that top defense pair, he's going to have a lot more coming at him than I think he's used to, just because this division got so much better. And I don't think he was getting the best matchups in terms of toughness coming at him prior to that.
I
Pedersen,
agree.
I don't know. I feel like you've gone like both ways on this guy. I don't know
He
how I feel
sucked.
about him,
He
but
sucked 2 years ago, and last year he was unbelievable defensively.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Looking at your D, I literally think you guys have Letang and Carlson, but besides that, I'm kind of like, oh boy. And also like Letang, yes, he had a good season last year, but like if he like gets hurt again or something like that, or if Carlson plays as bad as he has played in the past, I know he's coming off of freaking Norris Trophy here, but like he's had some brutal seasons too, you know?
yeah.
No,
I also think
don't
like
know.
Graves is good, but I think that was a ridiculous overpay.
100%.
Well, you had to. I think they bid on term. Yeah,
Yeah.
they were like, okay, if we want this guy, we got to sign him to a longer term deal, and they did it. And
Yep.
because they don't give a fuck after this year.
I like Nolachari, but other than that, your fourth line, Nieto and Pitlick,
I'm not sure. And like, obviously, once you slot Gensel in this lineup, it looks a little different and cleaner.
for sure. Yeah. What can you tell me about Drew O'Connor?
He's got some promise, and he's you guys are gonna laugh at this comment. He seems to play his best against the Capitals. That's one trend that I've noticed.
That's every Penguin when they play the Caps. That's every random scrub Penguin when they play the Caps.
Big. He's big. He's got some speed. I mean, hands not all there, but he could be decent. I just don't know. This team is going to be the exact same, in my opinion, as last year, but maybe plus or minus like 5 points. I'll tell you one guy. I could go on and on about this, but I'll keep it brief. Brian Rust got his payday last season, had a bit of a down year. The years before that, he was incredible. He's got to find his way back to get into like that 2021 Brian Rust form, because last season wasn't enough to cut it.
Wait, I'm also just now realizing the Jeff Carter experiment is not over.
Yeah.
Well, you can think
That's a fun one too. I like that one.
You can think harebrained Hextall for that one.
I mean, Lars Eller as your third line center, I personally think that's going to work out really well for you guys. But we've also, I mean, let's just picture a world where your third line, Drew O'Connor, Lars Eller, and Jeff Carter are getting nothing done. I can picture that world pretty easily.
Yeah, and we'll see what other moves there are.
But I do actually think the Lars Eller thing is going to work out for you guys because
same.
It's bound to.
Yeah.
So the Penguins' big problem last year, they were actually one of the better teams in the league 5-on-5. And for those who don't know, Sidney Crosby was unbelievable 5v5 last year. He was top, I think, 3 in points in the league 5-on-5. The problem was the power play. They were not good. And I think adding Erik Karlsson hopefully solves that problem. And once Gensel's back, I think that they put Letang down on PP2 and they let EK do the thing on PP1. And I'm praying to God that he can get that power play in check. Are the Penguins a playoff team? God damn it. I hate answering this question because when we did Atlantic, we talked about Florida might take a step back, maybe wild card. Buffalo, maybe wild card. Ottawa, maybe wild card. The Islanders are going to be in that mix somehow, some way. I'm gonna say yes because I feel like they're gonna blow their load getting in, and it's gonna take every single fiber of their beings to get in, and then we'll just get smoked in round one. That's my prediction.
So they're in the playoffs.
I think the Penguins make the playoffs.
Okay.
Okay.
Gonna have to disagree with you on that one.
Same.
Okay.
Oh my God. Who saw that coming?
Right. Can I say one good thing about the Penguins real quick?
Sure.
I do think Riley Smith, that's like one of the best ads that like any team made. I think he's going to be an absolute beast for you guys.
I'll take that a step further, and I say that I think Smith, Crosby, and Raquel is probably going to be one of the best first lines in the NHL this year.
Yeah, that's gnarly.
Yeah.
And the power, and that for that same reason, your power play is going to be insane. Like that line, or I mean, I guess Malkin will be in there, whatever. You pick your forward line, but then you've also got like Carlson on that, or like Letang. Yeah, the power play should be nasty. Should be.
It all comes down to Jari. You guys said it.
Yep.
I'll say it.
Yep.
It all comes down to Jari. I mean, they did what they had to do. Dubas didn't want to trade what it took to get a Hellebuck or a Gibson, so he ended up biting the bullet. Paid Jari. Yeah, he got a big contract and probably shouldn't have, but I guess that's what they had to do to keep him for this season. And it's all done after like probably next year, maybe even this year. We'll see. This is like the last kick at the can. Not sure. But I bought an Eric Carlson jersey, so it's
God, fine. I hope it's the last kick at the can.
I bought an Eric Carlson jersey, so it's fine. I think they're in. You guys think they're not. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to fight you too much on it. Let's move on to a team who could keep them out of the playoffs, the New York Islanders. The over-under set at 91.5. Lost in the first round last year. Bad power play. Good defensive team. Mac, I'm going to let you read who they added to this team.
Yeah, okay. I said, okay. Let it be known that when I was making the notes for this episode, I did not include every single guy that got added to a team. I included the big names or whatever. So when I got to the Islanders to add their additions, it was 3 or 4 guys, and I deemed them all as fake people. So I just wrote that their additions were just fake people that don't really matter.
They were Schlempos.
Yeah, it was all Chimba-Schlempos. I'm sure some Islanders fans can get mad at me and be like, no, freaking, I would love to give you an example of somebody you added that you think is going to be good, but I literally can't even do that because I don't think they're real people. Anyway, one of the best goalie tandems in the league, Sorokin and Varlamov. That's like, it was filthy last year. It's going to be filthy again. The D, we all know it's like a very tight button D team. I expect more of the same from the Islanders. I think they're going to be really good defensively. I will say what Harry said in a different episode about the Nashville Predators. I don't know who's going to score goals. Barzal is slowly but surely proving that he can only dish the puck. He just like does not score goals for this hockey team. So I hope Bo Horvat can do it. Anders Lee was like hurt all season last year. Am I correct? Wasn't he? Or am I getting this confused?
No, for the most part.
Yeah, he missed like the entire season, right?
Yeah, like 75%.
Yeah. So I mean that hopefully will be different for them now that he's back. They lost Josh Bailey. The Zach Parise thing is weird. I'm not sure how much this even matters, but he hasn't said he's retiring, but he also didn't report to camp. So like there's speculation that maybe he'll like sign something later on, either with them or someone else, or he might just retire. I don't know. That one's kind of up in the air. Again,
his contract's not up, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I did get that wrong. So I guess it's like
is he a UFA then?
I don't even fucking know. I'm confused about this because I was reading about it late last night and I like couldn't wrap my brain around it. All I know is that he isn't retiring, but he just hasn't like come to like play with the Islanders and he's like spending time with family right now or something.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure if we're mixing up names, but Anders Lee played all 82 games last year. And then I was like, was it Brock Nelson? And then he played all 82. Yeah.
No. Wait, was it the year before? Am I really getting that? Because Anders Lee,
one of them was out for like a long ass time. I know
exactly
it was Lee.
What you're He's the captain. About. He definitely missed like almost an entire fucking season at some point. Maybe it was the year before that.
2022, 2023, played 82 games and had 50 points.
Okay, how about the year before that? How many games did he
play? He played 76 games.
What the fuck? Is there any year that he played like 20 games?
The COVID year.
What the hell is going on?
Time's a flat circle at this point.
Someone got hurt last year for the Islanders. I know what you're saying. I always get him and Nelson mixed up.
I really thought it was Lee because he's the captain.
Don't know what to tell you.
Dean, call me after this.
Yeah. He's punching his steering.
Give me a call.
Right
we got to talk. I don't know what the hell is going on with your hockey team. Yeah. Anyway, why do I feel like this is the same team they've had for like 3 years. It's like essentially no different. They still got that like filthy fourth line. They're gonna play like you said, time is a flat circle. The Islanders are gonna be the exact same team they were last year, except this year I kind of think they won't make the playoffs because the teams in the division are better.
This is the exact same Islanders team. I think you absolutely nailed it, except for the fact that Scott Mayfield and Pierre Engvall are going to be there for the next 8 damn years because they didn't learn their lesson with
I forgot about
long-term
that.
contracts.
That was so silly. Yeah.
No, honestly, like I think this team is good. I think if this team was to sneak into the playoffs, they could beat anyone. I just don't think they're going to get there. I think they're going to fall a little bit short this year.
I'll make it short and sweet. Pelech Polak, great tandem. One of the best first tandems in the league. Noah Dobson, I'll throw his name in the underrated player category. He's pretty nasty. Doesn't get the love he deserves. But as Max said, that I said in a different episode, who's going to score? I don't really know. Barzal, like Max said, he's a passer. Horvat really struggled when he came over. Maybe that changes. Palmieri has had glimpses. I don't know. I just don't really see his team being able to put the puck in the back of the net.
It's what we were saying about the Blues and the Preds. Like someone's got to put the puck in the back of the net.
Correct. Also, I figured out the Anders Lee thing. I'm not crazy. Here's an article from March 14th, 2021. So I am getting the years confused because, again, this team is just the same fucking thing every year. So how could you not get it confused? He got placed on long-term IR. I forget if it ended up being like a fucking like ACL or it was something like really bad.
Yeah.
And then he missed like the last month and then like the whole like postseason or whatever.
Okay. Fair enough.
And that's why it was like such a bad thing because it was like, oh, fuck, he's the captain. Now we don't have him for the playoffs. And then he was good to go, I guess, by the time the next season came.
We're going to blame COVID and just say it all feels like it was last year.
Because it was.
It was. And again, this team is no different than it was in 2021, basically. So
Islanders are not a playoff team.
No, they're not. I'm glad we're all in consensus on that. I will say this: Oliver Wahlstrom, Hudson Fasching, big show me what you're made of years for this team.
Yeah.
Like y'all have been there for like 4 or 5 years now.
100%. And I would like to see Barzal scoring more goals. He can score goals. Stop passing it so much.
Get at least 30, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. What did he have last year? It wasn't
30. Now that I said it.
No, I don't think so.
I am fact checking.
He had a fuckload of assists, but not that many goals.
He had 14 goals last year.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's not enough. Come on.
Actually, he's never scored more than 22 goals, and that was his rookie season.
That's what I'm saying. Like this guy, I know he gets like a fuckload of assists, and that's great. But who is putting the puck in the net for this hockey team?
Yeah.
Actually, his rookie season was his best season ever. He's never even come close to that point total again.
Was that the year they went to the conference finals against whoever was Tampa?
No, this was before that. This was 17-18. So
a couple years before that.
That was the year the Caps won the cup.
Oh.
Who, ironically or unironically, are up next in our season previews. The Washington Capitals have an over-under point total of a whopping 85.5. Last year, I think the fellas will probably touch on that here shortly, but a little bit of a down year. They had the same record as the Detroit Red Wings, who we kind of pissed all over in the Atlantic Division preview. Similar to the Penguins, the GM has not given up hope about one more run at the Cup. A full season with Sandin and without Orlov should be interesting. Will Strome's career continue to trend upward after he looked like he was going to fade away? I'll have the boys talk about the D here and the goaltending in a quick second. Big questions with Kuznetsov and Mantha could be trade bait. They add Max Pacioretty and Edmondson. They lose Sherry, Irwin, Craig Smith, Connor Brown, and Carl Hagelin, who I want to give a special shout out to. Happy retirement. Unfortunate that it was injury prone, but you know what? He had a hell of a career. One of my favorite Penguins. So I'm going to give him a shout out.
Absolutely.
Boys, what's going on?
No. You're going to go first because we went first for the Penguins. So let's hear it, buddy. Rip us a new one here.
All right. Well, I am pulling up Daily Face-Off live, but before I even pull that up, just vibe check in general. Not great. I'm going to be honest here. And you guys are part of the
It's
reason
good.
it's not
It's
great.
right where we want you.
No, because that's you guys are kind of like poo-pooing them too. I will say this: the Washington Capitals could be slept on. They could be, but it relies on two things. They can't get their second line stars hurt. Backstrom has to play, Oshie has to play. I don't have a lot of confidence in that happening, if we're being honest. Although Backstrom, now he's like fully recovered, right? From the surgery, the hip surgery, right?
I feel okay about Backstrom's health personally, which I never thought I'd be saying that in the year 2023, but I actually do. I am so I don't think Oshie, that guy like literally might need to retire like soon. That's how bad I think that might be.
Which is very sad to say.
It is. It's super sad, but the tougher part about it is he's such a freaking like warrior that he's gonna go until he literally like can't fucking move. He literally had a quote last year. I think we've said it on the show before, but he had a quote last year where he was like, "Yeah, some days I'm just not gonna be able to walk, and I'm just gonna have to be okay with that." Like, I don't think that's good, buddy. Like, come on, like prioritize your health here.
Here's what I'll say. If the second line guys stay healthy, and I firmly believe you're going to have some young guy have a really good season, whether it's McMichael or Protas or whoever. I just don't feel like Sonny Milano is going to be as good as he was last year. I feel like he kind of had that like rejuvenation on a new team. Now he kind of comes back down to earth a little bit. I think there's going to have to be a young guy who can take his spot on that second line, especially if Oshie gets hurt. I will admit, Mac, I do think Kemper was kind of trashed a little more last year than he probably should have been. Ironically, he actually had very close stats when we were reading the Penguins stats to Jari. I think both of them maybe got a little more shit on them than they should have. D, happy to see John Carlson healthy again, obviously. Outside of him, I have a couple questions. I think Sandin was solid, but the other four, I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe. We'll see. I'm not a whole lot of puck moving going on there. I don't think the Caps are a playoff team. I'm going to be honest here. But I think 85.5 is a little disrespectful. I think they could get to that like 89 to 91-ish range.
Don't you think that we're better than the Islanders? I know the goalie thing is like, that's kind of why they probably got listed there. But like,
what do you mean by better? What is better? Like, I don't know.
Do you think we'll finish higher in the standings than the Islanders?
That's exactly what better means.
But I think on paper you guys look better, but I somehow think the Islanders are going to have more points.
Really?
It's the goaltending, man. I hate to say
that's fair. I mean, they do have. I honestly think Sorokin probably is the best goalie in the league.
He's right there. He's right there.
So that is fair. I'll accept that.
I'm trying to give you guys some love. Like I could be doomsday and be like, Backstrom's gonna get hurt, Oshie's gonna get hurt, Milano, blah blah blah. You know,
I think you make some good points. I disagree with you in the terms of Sonny Milano. I think that guy absolutely found a home last year. I mean, that was I
think he's gonna be just as good.
Hey, what can you do for us for these like couple months kind of contract?
Yeah, and he bought himself like a contract.
Yeah, like won a roster spot. So that guy played, I think, at one point on every single line last year and was contributing the whole time.
He's having fun again. And that's awesome. Honestly, my biggest concern is with guys like Oshie. Also, obviously with Mantha, I'm so fucking sick of talking about it. I have no faith that he's going to be any different. I literally just have no reason to believe he would be any different than he has been in the past. So that's really annoying to me that we're just like still doing that. But I get why we kind of have to. I feel great about our goaltending personally. Honestly, I have to disagree with Harry on the defense. I actually feel pretty good about our D. We got Faravari and Carlson as the top pair. Sandin and Jensen, I think that's a rock steady pair too. And I'm actually kind of excited about the Edmondson ad for like a third pairing D. I think that'll be interesting to see how that works out. Don't forget, we've still got guys like Alexiev that maybe will take another step forward this year if we need to promote somebody. So yeah, I'm not worried about the D. I'm mostly worried about like depth scoring.
Yeah.
That was probably the biggest issue last year, no?
I mean, you want to talk puck moving D, look at that second pairing. You got Sandin on the left and Jensen on the right. Both of those guys have absolutely amazing first passes on a breakout, and both are incredible skaters as well.
Yeah, I would agree.
Has Jensen ever been whipping boy? Why do I feel like I have that in my head? Like he
I
was
feel
like,
like maybe
there
when
was,
we
like-
first got him a little bit.
There's a select group of Caps fans on Twitter that are
Who
like,
are
"Oh, Nick
stupid.
Jensen's terrible," but
Yeah, it's the
I
same
would still
people
say
that like were
one of the
pissed.
3 best skaters on the team, bar none.
I'm also excited. I'm hoping Joe Snively like secures a spot on the roster. I think that could be good. He showed some signs of being a pretty effective player for us at times last year. Then he got injured. So Protus, I'd like to see a little more from him. Abe Kubel, I'd like to see him play a little smarter, but other than that,
He had his
he's
moments last year.
yeah, he's a big guy. He skates around like a freaking bull in a china shop, so that's cool for a fourth line guy.
I
I
think
don't really
if Snively doesn't secure a spot, Mac, what do you think about a guy like Ethan Frank maybe winning a spot out of camp in this lineup?
would love to see that happen. Would absolutely love to see it happen. I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility either.
Yeah. Fresh off that Calder Cup win with Hershey.
Right? Yep.
well,
But
we got to talk about one guy real quick before we ask the big question. Ovi, what are we looking at in terms of goal totals? I'll try and find his over under. What do you guys realistically think?
38.
that sounds
38.
about right. Yeah, I'd say 35. 35 minimum.
I was gonna say, I feel like I might even go higher. To be
And for
honest.
those of you asking the question, it's like if we do 38 this year and 38 next year, we are looking real freaking good.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's somewhere in the 35 to 45 range, which I know
Yeah.
obviously that's like, okay, yeah, sure, obviously, like that sounds right. But somewhere around
Well,
there.
you hit the nail on the head because his over under is at 40.5.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, I'd be tempted to take the over. I think he had what 42 last year or something like that, or
Something like that.
Yeah.
All right. Tell me why the Washington Capitals will or will not make the playoffs.
Well, I think it's the one guy we haven't talked about yet. If we get a healthy Max Pacioretty that contributes like 20 goals here, I think we're looking real good. I mean, Max said his biggest worry was depth scoring.
yeah. No, you're so right, Nick. And what's funny is I just a few minutes ago looked up, I Googled Pacioretty injury update, and I had to stop myself from laughing because the first thing that comes up is a highlighted little paragraph that says Pacioretty has suffered 2 torn Achilles tendons since the summer of 2022. And I'm like, oh,
I shouldn't laugh at
good.
that.
That's great. And then the first, you know how like it'll say like people also ask on Google, and then it gives you like other related questions. The first suggested question is, did Max Pacioretty break his neck? Which that is from like 2011 when he had like that like scary moment.
That's a big if you know, you know.
Chara
Right,
did
but
that.
I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Like I basically just Googled the guy's name and there's like only things about him having 2 torn Achilles tendon and a broken fucking like vertebrae. So that's great and really encouraging. I know he's not going to be ready to start the season. That's what I've heard. Other than that, I don't really have a timetable, so I don't know what we're looking at there. But I think Nick nailed it. If he can be effective and healthy, I'm excited. But I feel like that's a really big if, given his health history or whatever you want to call it.
For sure. The other thing I'll say, and I've said this for every division already, so I might as well say it for this one as well. Surviving the month of November for this team is absolutely crucial.
Holy shit. That's a good point.
Yes or no?
They're gonna do it.
Oh,
we're gonna sneak in, and here's why. Because we
God.
didn't make it last year, and there's too much fucking fight in guys like Ovechkin, and more so than that, guys on the team who like. I think Ovi is an extremely effective captain in that he has this presence where everyone in the locker room wants to succeed kind of like for his sake because they know they're playing with like a legend.
Right.
And they want him to go back to the playoffs.
Right.
So
Harry wouldn't know what that's like.
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. But my team's gonna miss the fucking playoffs, right?
Yeah, they are gonna miss playoffs. But no, I'm willing it into existence. They're gonna snag one of the last spots there. Maybe if the Devils underperform, they'll definitely be better than the Islanders. Penguins might be worse than us too, hopefully.
So you're saying that you both are saying the Capitals are going to make the playoffs?
Yep, they're going to do it.
Sir.
Okay. I will respectfully disagree.
And
Okay.
again, we've seen what happens when people doubt the Washington Capitals. We've seen it.
Right. That one time. It was great.
Yeah, that one time it was awesome.
All right. Let's move on now. I just lost brain cells. The Columbus Blue Jackets won't spend too much time here. Over under 73.5 points. Last season they sucked. I don't really have much more to say than that.
Wait, have
They
you
had
guys seen my phone? Did someone take my phone? Oh, sorry. Shit. Too soon.
Yo, why is AirPlay turned on? What the heck?
yeah, what? They add Alex Texier, Provorov, and Severson. They lost no one that you guys would know or is relevant. And right now, the biggest news, it's not Adam Fantilli being the third overall pick that went to them. It's not, their well, it is their new coach, but for all the wrong reasons, but not making great roster moves and looking good out of camp. The biggest news right now is that their coach is using AirPlay to look at his players' photo albums on their iPhones in what has turned into a media war on Twitter. Kind of where I'll
Reportedly.
leave it. Reportedly,
Yeah.
cannot confirm for sure. What do you guys think about the Jackets this season?
They're so weird. I mean, like that top line is sick. Gaudreau, Jenner, Line. They've obviously got Fantilli. He'll probably see some top line minutes. Kent Johnson could be a beast, but kind of still needs to prove it a little bit. Besides that, I'm not really too excited about any of their offense.
We got Texier coming back to the
Yeah,
NHL this year.
I was
That's
gonna say
big.
he was there before, wasn't he? And
Yeah.
yeah,
And went over to Europe and now
that's
came
right.
back.
No, he was good. He actually was good when he was with them. So that's good. The D, I like the Provorov ad, but again, other than like Werenski, I guess Severson and Provorov.
That's a sick top pair.
Yeah, that is. But then you've got like good Branson and like Andrew Peak,
Yeah.
kind of whatever. And then in goal, man, I mean, I think Elvis can be good, but he's not super consistent. And then they got Daniil Tarasov as the backup. I mean, this is just not a playoff team, and that's kind of all I have to say about it.
I think that's fair. I think it's obviously not a playoff team. I will say, like, had Babcock not been the coach here, I would have instantly slapped the fun hockey team sticker on the side of this wagon because they've got so many young guys that you would just like tune in on a Tuesday night to see anyways.
Totally.
You've got Gaudreau, Jenner, Line. That's your top line. Your second line is Johnson on the left, Fantilli in the middle, and Marchenko on the right. That's a ton of fun. You've got Roslovic, which is your third line right wing, hometown kid. That's really cool. You mentioned the Provorov thing. Werenski, hopefully he can be healthy this year. That would be great. And I think him and Severson together will be awesome. Plus Adam Boquist. I really want this to work out for this guy. I don't know why Chicago ever got rid of him, but I think he's a stud. Just needs some more time to grow. It's just going to be too much, too loud, too fast for them in this division. Everyone else is so much better than them.
That's
if these guys were in the Pacific, maybe they're knocking on the door to get in the playoffs or the Central, but they're not. They're in the Metro, so not going to happen.
Yes, sir.
I will summarize my synopsis of this. Is that a thing? Summarizing your synopsis? I don't know. Sure. 3 words for this team. Bet the over. That's all I got.
There you go.
No playoffs. Let's move on to
last and certainly least.
Yeah, really. The Philadelphia Flyers over/under set at 73.5 points. The additions: Garnet Hathaway, Mark Stahl. Is it Victor Mete? Is that his first name?
Yeah, I think so.
Victor Mete, Cal Peterson, Ryan Poehling, and is it Sean Walker? I can't remember. Walker.
I think so.
Who'd they lose? Kevin Hayes, Provorov, Lemieux, D'Angelo, and JVR. I think the biggest story for Philly going into the season is a guy who can't even play for their team, and that was their draft pick this past season, the Michkov kid.
Mm-hmm. Michkov, right?
Michkov. That's when you know you're bad.
Yeah, I mean, this is just who's their best player?
So wait, what's the deal with the Michkov situation now? For those that don't know,
I think it's like 2 years or something like that.
Before he can get out of his KHL deal.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I think there might be ways around it. I don't know if that's like 100% set in stone. It might be like there's a way to like buy them out at a certain point or something like that. I'd have to read up on it. We can fill everyone in on that when we're a little more well read. But what's
Sure.
important right now is he's not here. And
Okay.
yeah, I mean, like literally, I'm asking you guys, who is this team's best player? Like, who is it?
Travis
Uh,
Konechny
I would say
or a
Konechny,
healthy Sean Couturier.
but I think Tippett could be that guy. He looked really good after that Panthers trade over to them. And without talking about the Flyers too much, I know that there is some rumblings of Carter Hart perhaps not like reporting to camp, perhaps.
Really? Well,
Well, he
good thing
took
they've got Cal Peterson.
I
he
mean, if
took
Hart doesn't report to camp, you can just pretty much, I would just slap another 0 on the end of these odds to win this division because
Don't you also have like Samuel Ersan? Isn't that like their other like rookie
Yeah.
goalie who's supposed to be like kind of sick or something?
But like looking at this lineup, like this is not good.
It's like actually really bad.
Like this might be like first overall pick bad here, boys, especially in the East.
The D is like, oh, it's pretty upsetting.
So this is so Gen Z of me to do, but I did read on Twitter. It was like Hart is not happy with the Flyers. He deleted all of his photos on Instagram with them.
Oh, I
and
saw
then-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he is now a private account, so I cannot confirm.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
That's
I
not a
know.
good sign.
Yeah.
So,
But there was also, after all that happened, some other NHL insider came out and said, quote, like, there is nothing to Hart removing the Flyers from his bio and going private. It's like, yeah, okay, I'm sure.
yeah,
Right.
that because athletes don't ever do that right before.
Yeah, there's nothing to it though.
Because happy people
Nothing.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing to it. No.
Yeah.
Last place team, they're not good. Best player, Konechny, which is sad. Couturier might be back. Don't know. That's really all I
I
have to say
mean,
about the
losing
Flyers.
Hayes and Provorov is just
Yeah.
like that. Just
Brutal.
But they've
that-
got Garnet
that does it.
Hathaway.
Right. I mean, which I hate because he's going to be an amazing
Why
Philadelphia
can't
Flyer. but
we have him? Why like that's so stupid that he just has to like be a waste of space on this fucking bad hockey team when he could just play for us instead and play with his best friend Nick Dowd.
Right.
Wow. Tell us how
Like-
you really feel.
Oh, whatever. Anyway, this team is bad. I think they might be like the worst team in the league.
Except Hathaway, he's going to have like 65 goals minimum. So
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Easily. All right. That pretty much wraps up our Metropolitan Division preview. Just to recap, I have the Devils winning the division, and who do you guys have?
Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina for me too.
Yeah, Carolina. Okay.
So who's everyone's 1, 2, 3? I have Carolina, New York Rangers, and then the Devils for 3.
I think I probably have that, but I think that there's a world. Oh, God. I think there's a world where like I'm just gonna say somebody else sneaks up on the Devils.
So here was my question. Everyone and their mother has the top 3 solidified as Carolina, New York, New Jersey. Give me the one team in the division who could maybe disrupt that.
I'll give it to your Penguins if Jari can have a good year. I really will. If
Okay.
Jari can actually have like
That's
a good
fair.
year, I think the Penguins could maybe finish third in the division.
I think that, and if Carlson, like if the Carlson thing just
Yeah,
clicks
if that
super
like
well,
really works out, yeah, I think there's a way that happens. I'm also gonna say it. I think there's a world where the Caps could do it if Pacioretty comes back sooner rather than later. If there's a lot of ifs there. Some of the young guys like have a breakout year, like Protus, and if Frank makes a team and he's a beast, there's a lot of ifs. But
there's probably a situation where the Islanders do it too. So
I guess
like,
so. Yeah, that's probably true. If they find out how to score, how to put hockey pucks in mesh.
And that will conclude our 2023-2024 Metropolitan Division preview. Hope you guys had a fun one listening to that. I know we had fun doing it. Any final notes before we wrap up? We're recording this on September 14th. This will probably get aired right before the season starts. It's going to be a fun one. I'm excited.
it's going to be a good year.
Yeah. So we appreciate everybody listening, supporting us. Go check out www.emptybetters.com to see our shop, our sponsor links, all that good jazz. And that'll just about do it. So without further ado,
Class dismissed.